European funding's had an immense impact within the Cardiff capital region. The projects have been designed to wrap around existing provision to identify gaps in that provision, making sure that no matter where you live, you will get the support required to help you enter into employment, to help you with job searching, to help you gain the qualification and skills needed to progress in terms of the Cardiff Capital Region Skills Partnership. I would say our main role is that engagement with the employers and industry bodies within those priority sectors. We do that through a number of mechanisms, through our Employment Skills Board, through the Cardiff Capital Region City Deal, and through our priority sector cluster groups. All that intelligence is used to help inform the delivery of employability and skills programmes. So we are quite often feeding back through the European funding networks, through the RET networks, in terms of where there is opportunities within our priority sectors, where there's growth, where there's skills shortages, and quite often what we find is the European funded projects will use that information to inform their delivery or even inform the development of new European funded programmes.
The Journey to Work operation has had a significant impact across the region, with over 1,400 participants engaged so far. A really successful outcome for the Journey to Work project involved a participant who was currently unemployed because of an accident at work. They took the time to really think about what they wanted to do and where they wanted to go with their career. The participant had a qualification in reflexology, so she really decided that that was the route she wanted to take, and from speaking to her friends and family, she thought there was a real gap in the market. So she engaged with the Journey to Work project. The delivery team spoke to her and really engaged and gave her advice about the process of starting her own business. They engaged with the Barriers Fund to help fund all the necessary things that they would need to start the business, ranging from a reflexology table through to PPE, through to a card reader. That participant is now running a really successful reflexology business in Cardiff.
So JobSense is a European Social Fund sponsored service that helps people who are deaf, have significant sight loss, or a combination of both of those, to help them to find paid work or to move closer to the employment market by improving, for example, qualifications, training, getting volunteering and that sort of thing. But I'm actually a deaf person myself. I'm actually registered severely sight impaired as well. So in a sense, it's been really great to be involved in a project where I'm seeing my team and our partners helping people like myself.
I find it very, very hard to find the right job for me. And I find it not confident with the job centre. I like it someone with me, like interpreter, some more understanding. In the past I was way down, not got my confidence back. But when I join in with an RNG, I have got my confidence back. When he offered me his job, I was happy, shocked and upset crying a bit.
In 2017, we developed a new project, Nurture, Quit, Thrive, or NET for short. We'd had two sister projects operating since 2008, but we identified that we had a gap in our support and provision. The other projects supported people who were either unemployed and economically inactive to move into employment, or people who had no or low qualifications to gain further qualifications and upskill in work. NET took a different approach in that it combined health and employability for the first time in a project that we delivered. We also have a strand in Nurture, Quit, Thrive, which rather than being aimed at individuals, is actually supporting local businesses. And it's about trying to improve the equality and diversity in their workplace. All of the advice we give is free of charge. It's open to any employer that's regarded as an SME in South East Wales. So we're on the one hand supporting individuals, but also we're trying to work with the employers to open up those avenues for people being interested in recruiting some of those individuals we're supporting.
There's also additional support through some of our P2 programs, which identify people or individuals within our workforce that may be struggling to sustain employment, may be deemed underemployed, and will need the support and interventions in terms of potentially upskilling to ensure that they can sustain their employment and progress. And I think that's a big plus for us as an RSP, is that there is those projects out there that don't just stop supporting the individual once they get into employment. There's those projects there that make sure those individuals are supported throughout their employment, especially their early employment, and especially at times where they need to upskill and respond to changing industry demands.
We work with a diverse range of SME businesses across the region, supporting business leaders to gain the knowledge and experience and skills to create a positive impacts and embed equality, diversity and inclusion into their workforce to benefit their current and their future workforce. In the CCR region alone, over 2,500 women have taken part, and we've worked with across around 350 businesses. So far, those who've gained a pay increase as a result of taking part in the programme, they have collectively added just under £4 million to their salary in the CCR region alone.
Upskilling at Work is the brand name for effectively 4 projects. We cover all of the South East region, East Wales and the West Wales and the Valleys, and we also cover Powys as well. It's a collection of the 6 FE colleges that cover those regions. It's about offering what we can do as colleges, but trying to meet the needs of employers. So our project is unique in that it's very broad. We can provide skills and training to employers from level 1 all the way through to sort of higher levels, and it's targeted at employers. So although we work closely delivering training to participants, the employer is our key contact. It's about meeting the needs of the employer, helping them grow, sustain what they do, make them more resilient, access new markets. It's also unique in that it has brought the 6 FE colleges together, where we can cross-refer to each other, share resources and collaborate much more than we ever have done as a further education sector.
As a major automotive sector business was going from Southeast Wales. We had an individual there, and he'd done a couple of courses with us on a more technical sphere. He used those courses as part of his CV, which he told us after the event he secured future employment after the plant had closed, which was great news and exactly what the project is aimed at doing.
The project has benefited by engaging with the South East Regional Engagement Team on many facets. The most important would be the building of networks, getting connections and recommendations with the other projects that are present in this region, and also benefiting from the lessons that they've learned and bringing that to the project.
We run 2 really innovative graduate programmes. The first in financial services, and the second programme is a 10-month fast-track programme for data and AI. And that programme is really key because we know that the future demand for that skill is going to be huge in the area.
Atradius has been involved in the graduate programme from the very beginning. We've had hundreds of graduates come through our doors since the programme was established. And many have gone on to secure permanent positions and stay in the South Wales region.
I was finishing uni at university and I was going to go down the route of being a solicitor. I come to the end of my time at university and realised that's something I didn't really want to pursue. A friend of mine was on the previous cohort of the scheme, and he introduced me to it and advised me to apply for it. So I started off in Principality Build Society in the finance team, and that really broadened my skills. My second placement now has been in the HR team in Atradius, and that's been completely different. Equally, both placements have been great.
Prior to this programme, you look at graduate programmes for the UK, and graduates would have joined a corporate and be placed in London or Manchester. So one of the aims of the programme was to keep talent in Wales. So I suppose for the Cardiff capital region, because they're so unique, it's also given the added benefit that it's a great selling point to bring other global and UK companies into Wales and showcase the region as an expertise for data and fintech.
ESF funding has been crucial in terms of supporting people across the region. European funded projects have helped bridge the gap, have helped, provide some of those, reduce the burden on a lot of our core services. They take it that much further than just delivering a straightforward qualification or supporting someone to submit a job application. They're always looking at what is the next step, what's the next stage, how can we make this individual more resilient, how can we improve their abilities, their skills, their aptitude, to make sure that when they don't require the support from the operation, that they will be off, they will be flying, and fingers crossed, in a nice way, they'll never see them again, because they'll be very successful in terms of their education, their further education, or in terms of their employment. And we're seeing some great success stories.